From Chicago, Shaky Horton, J.B. Lander, Doc Ross, and John Lee Hooker. We all got a little thing we call it.
So there you go, Big Mamma Thornton. You might have seen some familiar faces in there too. Buddy Guy, Johnny Lee Hooker. They all loved to play with Big Mamma Thornton. Now, Big Mamma Thornton, she was born December 11th, 1926, and her real name was Willie Mae Thornton. That was her real name, and then she adopted the Big Mamma Thornton name after that when she started singing music and everything. But she was born to a Christian minister, and her birth certificate states that she was born in Arrowtown, Alabama, but in an interview with Chris Stratchwitz, she claimed Montgomery, Alabama is her birthplace, and I have that interview on hand here. You're going to learn a lot about Big Mamma Thornton tonight because she really did do a lot of great blues music over the years. So let me pull up that interview with the fellow Chris Stratchwitz, and you can hear what Big Mamma Thornton's career was all about.
Well, why don't we start off where you were born? Could you tell me a little bit about where were you born and when? What's your birthday?
11th of December.
11th of December?
Yeah, 11th of December. An Alabama kid.
What town in Alabama were you?
Montgomery.
In Montgomery. What was the year of your birthday? You mind telling us how old you are?
Well, that's a secret.
That's a secret. I'll never find out. Well, what did your folks do? Did any of them play music or sing? Or?
Well, my father, he was a minister. My mother, she was a Christian-hearted working woman. She sang Christian songs.
And did you ever sing with them in the church or when you were a youngster?
Well, no, not exactly. I used to go to church a lot, but just singing, I didn't do too much singing in the church.
Did you grow up in the town of Montgomery, or did you?
Well, I left there when I was 14.
Oh, you left there when you were 14?
Yeah.
Did you leave with your folks or just take off on your own?
No, I left with a show.
Oh, you left with a show? What was that? What was the name of it?
The Sammy Green's Hot Harlem Review out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Is that right? How did they happen to find you? Did they hear you singing someplace?
Well, I did audition on his show when they was playing a little theater there in the hometown.
Oh, is that right? And where did you tour?
Well, we went Atlanta, Birmingham, and back home, and Columbus, Georgia, Macon, Georgia, and South Carolina, and Florida. We just toured practically everywhere.
What year was this roughly? Can you tell us?
Well,
before the war? Or?
Well, I started before the war, and then after the war broke out, then we went touring through Texas.
What sort of things was it? Was this kind of a minstrel show, or was it just a music?
Well, a stage show, playing in theaters.
Did they have dancers and comics and all that?
Yeah, dancers, course girls, comedians, singers.
And how long did you stay with them?
Well, up until 48. That's when I left in Houston. I quit the show in Houston, Texas.
And did you go on your own from there in Houston?
Well, in Houston, I started recording records for Don Roby before I recorded from him, but he came out to the club I was working called the El Dorado Ballroom there on Elgin and Darling to hear me sing. And right then he wanted me under contract, but I didn't sign right then.
Good, take your time. And who were some of the other people with you there at the time? Was it your band, or did you just play as?
No, I was playing with a group called Smiley. He had H. Smalley. He was the band leader there at the El Dorado. That was his band. And then after he left, another band came in, Pluma Davis and his rock. We call them the House Rockers, and they was doing pretty nice.
Who were some of the other singers around town that you remembered around '48 around Houston?
Around Houston then? Well, Gatemouth Brown, he was real hot there. He was on Peacock label. And Roy Brown, he was in town. He was pretty hot around in that length of time. And I got a chance to meet Louis Jordan when he come to town. Big Joe Turner. And,
yeah, he used to be a real favorite around Houston, didn't he?
yeah. And Fats Domino, he was working around. That's when he put out this record. They called me the Fat Man.
Oh, yeah. And how long did you stay around Houston then?
Well, in 51, I cut this record, Let Your Tears Fall, Baby. Then I went to San Antonio, and I worked down there. I worked in San Antonio for a while. And when I came back, I was working around Houston, different little nightclubs. And Johnny Otis, he came to town. That was in 52. So we did an audition on his show that night. When I was working with Gatemouth Brown, he wanted me to sing with his band. So I did a song with his band, and he liked the way I performed on the stage, so he hired me. So he took me on tour, New York.
Oh, you toured with Johnny Otis' band then?
Yeah, that's when I first went to the Apollo Theater in 52.
Oh, is that right? And did you also go to Los Angeles then?
Well, we left Houston, and we went to Los Angeles, and while I was there, we recorded Hound Dog, but Don Roby put it on the shelf. So we goes from Los Angeles, played in California. We played the tour here, Sweets Ballroom, San Francisco, the Fillmore Auditorium. Then we go back to Los Angeles, and then we leave Los Angeles and go back through Houston, Texas, Battle of the Blues with Gatemouth Brown. Then we leave there and we goes on through Florida and on back up on around the East Coast there coming into New York. We goes into Apollo. That was in June 52. So the last part of 52, we goes Providence, Rhode Island, all up England states, Boston, Massachusetts, all around up through there.
And,
So we leave Providence, that was pretty close to Christmas. And I was supposed to go back, at least I wanted to go home, kind of homesick, so I wanted to see the old gang. So I caught a train, I leave New York, come back to Houston, and I got there just a little before Christmas. So Don Roby, he put me on a show in his nightclub. And I worked that Christmas and that New Year's out to his club, that was before they tore it down, called the Peacock. The Bronze Peacock, and they tore it down, made the office out of it. Now it's a big offices where they cut records. They got a record studio in there where they record. And back in the back, they press their own records. And 1953, first of 1953, that's when I met Johnny Ace. So they sent me to Dayton, Ohio. That's why I joined him there. Perform there at the theater there. I forget the name of the theater. But anyway, I was going to the theater, and I just turned the radio on in the car. And the man said, here's a record that's nationwide. Hound Dog by Willie Mae Thornton. I said, that's me. I hadn't heard the record in so long. So when we got to the theater, they was blasting it there. You could hear it from the theater, from the loudspeaker on out. Oh, they just playing Hound Dog all over the theater. So I goes up in the operating room. I said, you mind play that again? Because the man held the record so long, I forgot the words myself. So I was up in the so I stood there while he was playing it, listening to it. So that evening, I sang it on the show. And everybody went for it. So Hound Dog just took off like a jet. And right now, I wish I could get another dog. With a cat or something.
And then I guess you toured around. And when did you finally come back out here again?
Well, before I came out here, I went back into the Apollo Theater in February '55. And when I came back, I toured around up that part of the country. That's when I ran into Big Maybelle when I was battling the blues. So, well, that tour ended that way, so I drove on back down through Alabama, Georgia, stopping over, seeing friends because I didn't have anything else to do. So I goes back to Houston. Well, we go on a tour with Gate Miles Brown. I work around with him during 56, the first part of 56. Around Thanksgiving, I came out here, and I haven't been back.
How did Roby used to book you? Did he have a booking agency?
Yeah, well, Don Roby didn't actually book me. Evelyn Johnson was booking all the Buffalo booking agents.
Oh, I see. That isn't run by Roby as much.
Well, I don't know whether he had anything to do with it or not, but it's coming out of his office there. You know, Peacock, you know, the stabbing.
His artists, yeah. And how did you pick up most of your songs? Did you?
Well, some I wrote myself. Some other people, you know, write, and I sing them. And
like about that Hound Dog and I Smell Rat, were those two writers there? Did they just happen to be there? Or?
Well, Jerry Lieber, he wrote Hound Dog and I Smell a Rat. Jerry Lieber and Michael Stroll, they wrote those two numbers there. And they wrote both sides of that record, if I'm not mistaken. Nightmare was the first Hound Dog. They wrote both sides of that record.
Were they from Houston or what?
No, actually, they are right now. They're from New York, but they was staying in Los Angeles at the time when they.
Oh, I see. They were.
You know, yeah, they was down in Los Angeles. They know Johnny Otis very well, you know.
Oh, I see. Because they've written a lot of songs, like for the Coasters. I think they wrote that Yakety Yak.
Yeah, and I know they wrote quite a bit.
Yeah. Who were some of your favorite singers when you were a youngster? You know, when you were just growing up.
Well, I didn't have no favorite singer. I just admired good singing, you know. But since
did you hear anybody you liked when you were in Birmingham still, or?
No, well, and my favorite blues artists was Muddy Waters and Big Maceo and be surprised. Lowell Folsom, all the cats, man. I admired them, you know.
Yeah.
Roy Brown, I sang all of his songs. Of course, I didn't have no hit record, but I was singing everybody else's record. Because when I went into the Apollo Theater, you'd be surprised what I went over with. Big Have Mercy, Mercy Baby by the Dominoes.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Ward the Domino. That time when Clyde McFadden was there with him, you know.
Yeah, I sure know.
That was
That was a big one. That's about the time I, got interested in this music.
That was the first time I'd ever been to New York.
That song might actually be a good song for you to redo. That Have Mercy, Mercy Baby.
Yeah, that's a nice tune. I like
I
that.
have that record here. Let's see. What did your parents think of it when you started singing kind of blues and that church music?
Well, I lost my mother in '39. Well, I wasn't singing blues when I was then.
Oh.
No, I wasn't doing anything but just staying around home. Time then.
Is that when you left home after your mother died?
No, I didn't leave right away. I didn't leave right away.
But you said that you like to sing, gospel songs. Have you ever, seriously thought about, making maybe some records of spirituals and gospel songs?
I've thought about it a great deal. And I would like very much to do spirituals. Because I feel that I got the voice. I feel like I got the power. I just feel like I can just do them. I just like in a fact condition. You'd be surprised. Mostly my occupation every morning is turn on my radio, listen to spirituals. I love those spirituals. I love good singing. And like the Dixie Hummingbirds, the Soul Stirrers, Mahalia Jackson, the Davis Sisters. Oh man, I mean, and the Five Blind Boys of Mississippi. Oh, they just knock me out. I'm telling you. When I hear good singing, I love it. In fact, and I love all good singing.
Yeah, I think that's so. You mean you sort of really got into blues because people wanted you to sing them more or less, and rather than.
Well, how I got into blues because I didn't know anyone at the time to do what I wanted to do. And back in this, when you're hungry, you try to make a fast buck to try to stop from being hungry.
Well, I hope that you can, do the things that you want to do. As far as I'm concerned, I'd like to make some records and do whatever you want to do. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
I would like very much to cut some spirituals. Get me a good group behind me and cut some nice old time spiritual records because I like good singing.
I guess you don't want to talk too much about your early days. I'm always interested, how people get started and what you hear around you. I mean, you didn't hear much except your family and people and singing in church and so on.
No, not too much about that.
Who else was on that show that you auditioned for when you started? Were there any names that I may recognize?
Yeah, a young man was singing on the show at the time called Billy Wright.
Oh, yeah.
He made a nice hit record. And he was doing real nice on that. He got on Savoy label, and he was doing pretty nice on that. I haven't heard from Billy in quite a while.
But you don't remember hearing any low-down blues guys around your hometown? Montgomery, Alabama.
No.
Guys like Muddy was in that style. You didn't have.
Well, and Muddy Waters and Jimmy Reed. Jimmy Reed wasn't. I didn't hear of him until lately here. Well, Muddy Waters, he was out. He was doing something. And Howlin' Wolf, they was doing. They was on label.
Yeah, but you didn't hear any local people down there.
No.
Alabama.
The only thing I heard local was some spiritual quartets, and I don't forgot the name of that. Been so long.
Yeah, it's very strange that there's so few. Most of those blues singers seem to come out of Mississippi or Texas.
Well, I haven't. I didn't get hear anything about nothing like that until after I had started singing, and was already gone away. And then and people tell me, say, well, I'm from Montgomery, I'm from Alabama, or Tennessee, but I didn't know anything about them, because they came along behind me.
How did you meet up with this fellow Brad Taylor?
Oh, Brad Taylor? He got a record on the shelf. Do you know that Sentimental Reasons thing I used to do? I cut a tape on that, and I don't know what he did. I guess he wore the tape out. He won't release the record.
Did you meet him when you worked in San Francisco, I guess?
Yeah, I met Brad while I was working in Santa Cruz, San Francisco, around the Bay Area here.
Let's see. Anything you want to tell us about yourself that maybe you want to tell the world about it?
Yeah, I need a job.
Try to make that plain.
I need a job. I need help.
Yeah,
See, so many youngsters jumping up now. They forget about the old timers, and right now they'll be surprised that the old timers got more to offer than some of those youngsters.
And I noticed that things are changing so fast. It seems like even people like Charles Brown, and everybody.
Yeah, you don't. That's right.
Big artists like yourself, and all of a sudden, all these crop of new kids coming in, and it's so hard to.
If people will just come out and listen to the old timers, and they'll realize that old timers are still going.
Yeah, so good.
Me, all I just need to break. All I want to do is put something out there that means just let me sit down and just take my time, put some good background behind it, and let me just show the world what I got. That's all I want.
Well, I hope we'll be able to do that.
Let's go to show you now, like you singing on the stage. Now on the stage, I can perform 40 minutes and never say the same thing twice. But see, it just comes to me like that.
Yeah.
And I can just start to sing it and make a song right on the stage. And I think just making up a song on the stage and you get that feeling and got somebody behind you that groovy, it comes out much better anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Because to my idea, to like a person write a song, they have given me songs and I wind up changing that song completely.
Yeah.
Because to my idea, it's just like when I made this Summertime. I didn't do it like everybody else do it. I do it different. And the flip side called True Come to the Light. The man that wrote that side, he gave me the words and I changed it around completely. And True Come to the Light was, to me, to my idea, it sounded better than Summertime.
I never heard that. I heard the Summertime once, so I got lucky once played. I've been meaning to get that record. I can't.
And this new record, I got an answer to Hound Dog called Tomcat.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Have they put that out?
Well, they released it the day, and I said, say, our president got assassinated, and so that stopped that.
All right, that's the end of the interview, and you did hear in that interview with Big Mama Thornton that her mother died early, and Willie Mae left school and got a job cleaning spittoons in a local tavern, so she didn't sing all of her career. She worked in local taverns as well. And we've got a few selections from some of the things that she was talking about in that interview, one being the performance at the Apollo. And I'm going to get that clip up here for you so you can listen to it. So we're going to slide over there now and let you see how she did Hound Dog at the Apollo Theater during the Jazz Festival.
You know, you told me you was hot, man.
back in the 50s. That's when her career really took off. A new kind of popular blues was coming out in the clubs. A lot of brass horns, jumpy rhythms, and wisecracking lyrics. She had them all, Big Mama Thornton. And the big thing about it is that everybody thought Elvis Presley was the first one to ever do Hound Dog. And that wasn't true. Big Mama Thornton did it. And she actually got a hit record on the R&B charts on Billboard with that hit single. And she was surprised to hear it when she was driving. She didn't know it was her, and she said, "Oh, that's me, Big Mama Thornton." She was really good friends with Aretha Franklin, too, and I've got a clip of her singing with Aretha here, and I'm going to run that one for you real quick so you can find out who Big Mama Thornton was.
Just like they always have, and that's the way that I believe the tradition will truly survive. And this song that Bessie Smith first sang in 1929 may prove that the blues are indeed universal.
All right, Big Mama, tell me about it.
What do you want me to do, Rita?
Lay it on me, child. You know.
Once in my life, I just want to tell you I was a millionaire.
No.
You know, I was spending all my money.
You didn't have no money, did you?
Ah, yes, I did. No, I didn't.
Oh,
Yes.
child, don't know.
Always taking my friends out.
Uh-huh.
A good time.
Mm-hmm.
Buying that champagne. I didn't leave out the wine.
Well, but just as soon as my dough got low,
What?
I couldn't find one of them good old friends,
I didn't know
and I didn't
that.
have no place to go. No.
Oh, gee.
And if I ever get my hands on a dollar, yeah,
Oh, what?
I'm gonna hold on to it until the eagle brings up.
I didn't know that.
Because
Nobody knows when you're down and out.
Ain't it the truth?
Oh!
Oh, when you're down and out. Yeah. Come on. In your pocket, you ain't got one penny. And your friends, ooh, you ain't got any.
As soon as you get on your feet, again, honey,
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
nobody is your longer lost friend.
It's my strength.
Big Mama Thornton in her older years singing with Aretha Franklin right here on Say It With Music DJ Services Twitch feed. We're just kind of looking back at the history and legacy of Big Mama Thornton, one of the first people to bring out Hound Dog. Of course, Elvis Presley recorded that 3 years later, got a great big hit with it. But in fact, as history tells us, Big Mama Thornton was the first one to record Hound Dog and actually got a hit on the R&B charts with Billboard. Now, on Christmas Day, 1954, in a theater in Houston, Texas, she witnessed fellow performer Johnny Ace, also signed to Duke and Peacock record labels, accidentally shot himself while playing with a .22 pistol. Thornton continued to record for Peacock until 1957 and performed in an R&B package tour with Junior Parker and Esther Phillips. So she had a lot of hits that nobody ever heard of. In fact, I've been in radio for several years before I even discovered Big Mama Thornton. I actually discovered her when the internet came out, and I started surfing YouTube and saw Hound Dog, and I said, what? Somebody did Hound Dog before Elvis Presley? So YouTube enlightened me on that fact of history. And she also did a song called I Smell a Rat, which I really, really like. I'm going to find that one for you. And then we're going to talk about a hit that she actually wrote for Janis Joplin. If I can find I Smell a Rat. Yep, I don't think I put that one in here. I'll play this one here. This is another hit that she had. And then I'll find I Smell a Rat, and we'll be right back on here to let you hear how Big Mamma Thornton sang that song.
Come here, baby. Sit down on my knee.
on stage, and when she felt something, she just let it out. Left home in 1940, and with the help of Diamond Teeth Mary, joined Sammy Green's Hot Hollin' Review, and was soon billed as the new Bessie Smith. Her musical education started in the church, but continued through her observation of rhythm and blues singers Bessie Smith and Memphis Minnie, which she deeply admired. She enjoyed those artists, and a lot of her music was inspired by that. So I did find I Smell a Rat. I'm going to play that one for you real quick. This is, of course, Big Mama Thornton.
I smell a rat, baby. I smell a rat, baby. You better watch out. I smell a rat, baby. You won't tell me where you've been. Whiskey running on down to gin. I smell a rat, baby. I smell a rat, baby. You better watch out. I smell a rat, baby. You came stumbling down the hall. You bumped your head up against the wall. Knocked out drunk, that ain't all. I know you've been having yourself a ball. I smell a rat, baby. I smell a rat, baby. You better watch out. I smell a rat, baby. Oh, you know I smell that rat. Oh, look at them old pillow rats walking around. Oh, I know you're not down, but that's all right. Oh, you great big old house rat. Oh, look out that rat, cause don't fool with me. You won't tell me you've been no place. Fingernails scratching all over your face. I smell a rat, babe. I smell a rat, babe. You better watch out. I smell a rat, babe. Well, oh, that old rat. I'll get me some rat poison to take care of you, babe. Now I know what you putting down out on the other side of town. Oh, I smell a rat, babe. Oh, great big rat. Better watch out. I smell a rat. I smell a rat. I smell a rat. Big rat.
It was noted, too, in some of the articles that she could really sing pretty if she wanted to, but she didn't like it. She liked that old bluesy, gutsy stuff. And I Smell a Rat, that was a good one. I never heard that song before today, and really enjoyed that one. Rats are not hard to smell during a pandemic, huh? Well, anyway, in the 70s, heavy drinking began to damage Thornton's health. She was in a serious accident, but recovered to perform at the 1973 Newport Jazz Festival with Muddy Waters, B.B. King, and Eddie Cleanhead Vinson. A recording of his performance, The Blues, A Real Summit Meeting, was released by Buddha Records. Thornton's last albums were Gel and Sassy Mama for Vanguard Records in 1975. Other songs from the recording session were released in 2000 on Big Mama Swings, so she actually had a couple of songs that were never heard until after her passing. And she did a lot of great music. One of the other ones that she wrote was Ball and Chain. Actually, Janis Joplin did that song and had a big hit with it. And here is Big Mama Thornton performing that one.
Police, you ain't gonna give me no. Ladies and gentlemen, the young man, he's been with me 18 years. That's Curtis Stillman. Let's give him a big round of applause. And through the years, ladies and gentlemen, I know you heard a Pine Top Boogie Woogie. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Pine Top on piano. Let's give him a big round. And I'm the one that wrote a little record that Janet had a big ball off of. It's called Ball and Chain. I'm finished singing for you. Hope you like it. Big Mama Thornton. was looking out at the rain. Sitting by my window, baby. Oh, I was sitting looking out at the rain. You know something struck me, honey. Clamped on like a ball and chain. I said, oh, baby, why you wanna do this old mean thing to me? Because you know I love you, baby. And I'm so sick and tired of being in misery. Hold on, play your soul now, baby. Lord have mercy. Oh, baby, love holds on like a ball and chain. I said, hey, baby, oh, it holds on like a ball and chain. Oh, I don't mean no harm, honey. Big mama just don't want to go insane. Now listen. I say, hey, baby, why do everything have to happen to me? For eternity. Body change, turn me loose. Thank you.
All on Chain, which was later done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And then later, she performed at the San Francisco Blues Festival in 1979 and the Newport Jazz Festival in 1980. In the early 70s, Thornton's sexual proclivities became a question amongst blues fans, but Big Mama performed in the Blues as a Woman concert of that year alongside classic blues legend Sippy Wallace, sporting a man's three-piece suit, straw hat, and gold watch. She sat at center stage and played pieces she wanted to play, which were not on the program. Thornton took part of the Tribal Stomp at the Monterey Fairgrounds, the third annual Sacramento Blues Festival, and the Los Angeles Bicentennial Blues with B.B. King and Muddy Waters. So she was noted for hanging out with some pretty big acts in her day. And you just didn't hear a whole bunch about her. You know, you heard of B.B. King, you heard of Buddy Guy, you heard of Johnny Lee Hooker, but you never heard about Big Mama Thornton. And I just didn't understand that. Of course, you know, because she actually did Hound Dog before Elvis Presley did it. And, of course, we all know how big that song was for him. But her real name was Willie Mae Thornton, born December 11th, 1926. She died July 25th, 1984 in Los Angeles, California. And she lost a lot of weight. She was, like, down to 95 pounds when she passed away. So just a musical legend. Always enjoy listening to her music. I've been researching her a little more each day and just trying to find out some more about the history. Now, I really like the closing song that she did at the juke joint, is what they called those, because she was there with Johnny Lee Hooker on this song, and it's called the Home Down Stomp Down, and this was the closing song in the bar with Johnny Lee Hooker, and they really get into it. You're going to enjoy this.
Let's whip it out, huh? And bring on with a big round of applause. From Chicago, Shaky Horton, J.B. Lander, Doc Ross, and John Lee Hooker. We all got a little thing, we call it the Down Home Shakedown.